till now, what we had completed was effects of force. We had completed last time, and this time we are supposed to complete pressure, the complete topic. And after that, we have two more topics which are somewhat difficult. Atmospheric pressure is not that much difficult. Even pressure of liquids and gases, it's well easy to understand. So the only concern is if you understand pressure, other things will become easy. This is quite easy, even this is easy. So let us focus on pressure, what exactly it is. Now, first thing we want to know is, generally pressure is always connected with force. Whenever we say pressure, many people, they tend to make a difference. They think that pressure and force is same. Some people say that apply force, some people say apply pressure, but they don't tend to understand what is the basic difference. And there is a lot of difference between pressure and your force. There is a lot of difference. Fine. Whenever you are applying force, you are always going to create some effects. You might change direction, you might change shape. You already know from effects of force that whenever you apply some kind of a force on a body, you might change direction, you might change the state, you might change how it looks, shape and size and everything. So there are a lot of changes you can bring from force. But you don't have a physical quantity, you don't have any idea that by applying some kind of force, what exactly or how much it is going to change. For example, if I am saying that if I apply force, I might change a shape from rectangle to a circle. Suppose what I'm saying is, if I apply force, I'm changing the shape from rectangle to circle, for example. But you cannot get an idea that how much force I'm applying, how much exactly, what is exactly the effect, like how much force quantity we're talking about. You just got the idea that yes, we applied some kind of force and hence the shape changed. But we never talk about the effect, and that is exactly what is the importance of pressure. What pressure will give you idea? It will tell you about force. It will definitely tell you about force. Then what is so different about it? So first thing, it will show you force, but it will actually show you effect of force. But it will show you effect of force. So that is very important. The last point which I had studied, suppose let's say the effects of force, that is the same one. So from pressure, whenever somebody asks you that what exactly is the use of pressure when we have a concept called as force, so what you're going to say, pressure is used to understand effect of force. What you are going to understand with pressure? Effect of force. So that is quite important. Okay, this is the first point. So why do we need pressure? For understanding effect of force. So that is exactly what it is. So you can see here, the definition is already given to you in your book also. The effectiveness of the applied force. Effectiveness means what? Effect of the force is a quantity which is known as pressure. So what exactly is the pressure? Is nothing but effectiveness of applied force. That means effect of force is called as pressure. So in the exam, if you write down something like this, that pressure is nothing but effect of force, then it is also a nice concept. But what exactly is the formula? Because even force has a formula, right? So there must be some formula for pressure. So exactly there is, pressure is equal to force applied, whatever the force you are applying, divided by area. So this is exactly the formula. Force you already know, that means push or pull. And what about area? That is the area on which you are applying force. So that is exactly is the formula. Pressure is equal to force by area. So give me response in chat box. Have you understood till now that pressure is nothing but effect of force? It is exactly showing us effect of force. And we have a formula for it. That is pressure is equal to force by area. Are you understanding till this moment? Are you with me? Everybody is understanding? Okay. So we have a formula for it and we have idea that why exactly we study it. Fine. So let us revise in a shorter way. The only reason we study this pressure is because we want to know what is the effect of force. Another thing we know that it has a formula called as pressure is equal to force by area. Correct? You can just shorten it. How you can write it down? Pressure is equal to force by area. P is equal to F by A. You can use this formula, no issue. Means you don't need to write down the complete words. That pressure is equal to force by area. You don't need to write down. You can just simply shorten it. What you can write it down? P is equal to F by A. That you can write. There is no need for writing down this much of bigger formula. Understood? Give me response. Have you understood that you can use a shorter version? You don't need to write down the complete sentence. Force is equal to pressure is equal to force by area on which the force is applied. No need, no need. Okay, okay. Now, another thing we want to know is, last time we had discussed that force has magnitude as well as direction. Do you remember? Give a response. Do you remember that in the last session we had studied that force has magnitude and direction? Both. Correct? Okay. Now such quantities who has magnitude and direction, these are called as vector quantities. These are called as vector quantities. Understood? And the physical quantities which has just magnitude, any physical quantity which has just magnitude but no direction. If it has no direction at all, okay, only magnitude, that's it. So if that is the case, if it has no direction, then it is called as scalar quantity. It is called as scalar quantity. Are you understanding this point? What is a scalar quantity? If it has just magnitude, no direction at all, so that is exactly is a scalar quantity. Now, what can be the example for it? Example, can somebody give me example for this? Scalar quantity which has just magnitude, no direction. What about time? Whenever, if I ask you what is the current time, what you will say? Sir, it is 5:20. Do you tell me that direction? That sir, 5:20 in east direction or 5:20 in west direction? Do you say me like this? Give me response. Do you say, whenever if I ask you what the time is, do you give me direction as well with it? Or you just say the time? You just say the time, right? 5:20 or maybe 5 p.m. or maybe 6 p.m. Yes. So that is exactly is that quantity. Time, hence, time is nothing but a scalar quantity. It's a scalar quantity. Because all you need is its magnitude. If you tell its value like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., that is the magnitude. You don't need direction with it. Hence, time is nothing but a scalar quantity. Understood? Understood one example of scalar quantity? Yes, speed is also a scalar quantity. Yes, Gayatri. Okay. Now let us focus on our pressure. Whether pressure is a scalar quantity or vector quantity. So last time we already understood that force is nothing but a vector quantity. But pressure. Do remember that pressure is a scalar quantity. Pressure is a what? It's a scalar quantity. Always remember this. Pressure is a scalar quantity. Are you understanding this? Pressure is a scalar quantity. Always it's a scalar quantity. Can we move? Can we move forward? Force is a vector quantity. Pressure is a scalar quantity. Give me response so that we can move forward. Understood this point? That one of the quantity we are talking about is a scalar quantity, that is pressure. Okay, fine. Now, let us focus on the units. What kind of units we have? Now, you already know that pressure is nothing but force by area, right? Force by area. If we want to find out the unit of pressure, what is the unit of pressure? You have to substitute the unit of force here. Now, what is the unit of force? Give me the response. What is the unit of force? We already know. Last time we have studied it. Yes, Gayatri, correct. Newton. What about other students? Only Gayatri is giving answer or what? Vasudha, correct. Aditi, correct. Vaibhav, Shitija. Yes, Rathod, correct. Bunty. Shantanu, yes. Indrayani, correct. So the force, unit of force is nothing but your Newton, right? This is Newton. What about area? Area is always calculated in meter square. If you remember, it is always meter square. Meter into meter, na, suppose let's say you are calculating area of your rectangle. So it is length into breadth, right? Length into breadth is the formula for what? Area of rectangle. So it would be meter into meter. So that would be meter square. So I have to write down here as meter square. So formula would become Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. Are you understanding how we have derived formula for a unit for pressure? You write down the formula first, then you substitute the unit for force, unit for area. Unit for force is Newton, unit for area is meter square. So it will become Newton per meter square. Okay. So let us see how exactly it is being made. So exactly what we did is we started with the formula. We wrote our formula first, that is pressure is equals to force by area. Then what we did, we substituted the unit of force, that is Newton, and we substituted for area also, which is meter square. So total force we got as unit Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. So you can see here Newton per meter square, correct? But Newton per meter square is known by another name. Newton per meter square is also known by its another name. It is called as Pascal. Pascal means Newton per meter square can also be called as Pascal. Pascal. But we do not write down the complete name. We just shorten it. How it can be written? PA. That's it. PA. So if I want to write down some example, suppose if I'm writing down some pressure, so I can write it like something like this: 15 Newton per meter square. This is one pressure. I can also write it something like this: 15 Pa. 15 Pa. Pa is what? Pascals. Are you understanding this? I can write down the complete number and then the unit, either Newton per meter square or Pa. Pressure, Pascal. Pascal can be written as PA. Everybody is understanding this point? Give me response. Gayatri, okay, fine. Kaushal, okay. Aditi, got it. Vaibhav, okay, fine. Bhumi, yes. So exactly how you can write down? You just have to write down a capital P and a small a. That is what is the meaning of Pascal. So instead of writing down the complete word, you can write down as PA, capital P and small a. Okay. Now give me response first. What is the unit of force? Can somebody give me so that we can talk in general? Okay. So who is giving proper answer? Gaurav is giving proper answer. Bunty, yes, correct. Then Vasudha, right? Then Gayatri, correct. What about other students? Aditi, right. Bhumi is also right. Suhani, correct. Vaibhav is also correct. Charul, yes, right. What about area? What is the unit of area? Just now we have seen it. Just before some time we have seen it. What is the unit of area? Area. Unit of area. Bhumi, not meter. It is not meter. No, it's not meter. Shantanu, correct. Then Suhani, correct. Vasudha, correct. Bunty, correct. Gayatri, yes, you are right. Meter square. Kaushal is also right. Okay. Bhumi and Aditi, correct. You have made necessary changes, correct. Now Bhumi has given correct answer. It is meter square. Ekta, correct. Gaurav, yes. Kshitija, yes. So the answer is nothing but for area, the unit is meter square. It is square, meter square, not meter, meter square. Okay. And what is the another name for Newton per meter square? Just now we have seen Newton per meter square can also be called as Newton per meter square can also be called as what? Pascal. It can be called as Pascal. P-A-C-L. It is the name of the scientist. It's one of the name of the scientist in whose recognition we have given in his honor. So he was one of the scientists we gave in his honor this particular unit, that is Pascal. Okay. And how do we write it? Do we write the complete word PACL or just one letter and one another letter? What do you think? Okay, do not make that mistake, students. Do not write down all the two letters as smaller ones. You have to write down P capital, A small. Yes, marks will be cut if you are not writing down proper units. If you write down smaller PA, marks will be cut for it. You have to write down capital P, small a, Pascal. Understood, everybody, how to write it down? Give me response so that I can move. Okay, fine. Sure. Now what we'll do, we will be going for the next part. We'll be going for the next part. Does somebody have any problem till now? Can we go for the next point? Tell me. Kaushal, we have different devices to measure pressure. We don't have those in syllabus, but you can use barometer. You can use barometer for that. We don't have that syllabus. That is the problem. Fine. Have you got your answer? Okay, chalo. So let us start with another point, and that is nothing but what is inverse and direct relation. Okay, what is inverse and direct relation? Now, for example, just focus on what I'm saying. Just assume for a second that there is a formula called as x is equal to y by z. We are assuming that this is one of the formulas. So y in this case, is it in numerator or denominator? Can you please tell me whether it is in numerator or denominator? That y? What do you think? It's in numerator or denominator? It is in numerator. It is in numerator. Okay, correct. This is in numerator. What about z? What about z? Where is it? What is the position of z? It is in denominator. Correct? Vasudha correct. Kaushal, yes, you are correct. Ekta right. Bhumi, yes. Vaibhav, Charul, yes. So the point is, it is a denominator. It is a denominator. Denominator. Okay. So it is in denominator. Correct. Now you have to remember that whenever somebody is in numerator, that position, that relation with x is called as direct relation. It is called as direct relation. What it is called as direct relation? Whenever you have a figure which is in numerator, then you can say that y has a relation of x. What kind of relation it is? It is called as direct relation. I will explain you what it is, but for now, just remember that whenever there is a numerator position, you can say there is a direct relation between it. Between whom? Between x and y. Between x and y, there is a direct relationship. But if there is a letter which is in denominator, then the relation you have is called as inverse relation. It is called as inverse relation. So what I am going to write down here, it is inverse relation. Understood this point? Whenever there is numerator, it is direct relation. When it is denominator, then it is inverse relation. Can I give one example for it? Can I give one example so that you can, suppose, let's say, find out which is inverse and which is direct? Okay. I am going to write down one formula and then I will be asking you one letter at a time. Okay? Then you can give me the answers for it. Let us say, for example, that f, there is a formula f is equal to capital G m1 m2. This is gravitational formula m1 m2 divided by r square. Okay? Now tell me, what about G? What about G? G is in direct relation or inverse? What do you think? G, it is actually a constant value, but according to our logic, what do you think? It is direct or indirect? Inverse or direct? What do you think? Direct. It's a direct relationship. Definitely it is direct. Because it is in numerator. What about m1 m2? m1 and m2, what do you think? We will write it down simultaneously for both of them because they are just masses. Gayatri correct. Divyansh, yes, correct. Vaibhav, you are wrong. It is not indirect. It is not inverse. It is direct relation. It is in numerator, no? Okay, Soham, your answer is also wrong. That is in numerator. It should be direct. Ekta correct. Shlok, yes. Soham, now you are right. Prathamesh, yes. Bunty, you are right. So hence the answer is definitely it is direct. What about R? What do you think? Whether it is direct or indirect? Inverse, right? Inverse or indirect, you can say. Inverse, you can say. Inverse. Yes, the word is inverse. Okay, so fine. The answer for this is again inverse. Okay, now you are understanding. The exact logic. Okay, now come to our formula. P is equals to F by A. Now tell me, what is the relation of F and P? What do you think? Give me response now. As you understood the logic, what do you think? Whether it is direct or inverse? Bunty correct. Shlok correct. Sid, yes. Guy. Vaibhav, you are wrong. You have to change your answer. Divyansh, Rohila, that your answer is totally wrong. Kindly pay attention, proper attention. Savri, yes. Vasudha, yes. Karthik, correct. Vaibhav Kadam, correct. Okay. Kshitija, your answer is wrong. Please change it. Deepa Mantri, your answer is also wrong. Bhumi, correct. Answer is correct. So force in this case is, force is in numerator. So definitely it is going to have direct relation. What about A? What do you think? A is in denominator. So whether it will have direct or inverse? Okay, Shlok is correct. Gaurav, Kritika, Aditi, Charul, Prathamesh, yes, Deepa, correct answers. So all these are correct answers which have been supplied by the students. A is nothing but area, and A is an inverse relation. Inverse relation with whom? Inverse relation with whom? Pressure. Direct relation of force with pressure, and inverse relation of area with pressure. Yes. Okay. Can we move to the next part? Can we move to the next part? Can I tell you something more about it? Okay. Okay. Now, after this, now we have understood how to identify whether it's a direct relation or whether it's an inverse relation. Correct? Actually, there is a big lesson called as direct and indirect proportion or ratios. Okay, in your mathematics. But as we are dealing with physics, I cannot teach you complete direct and indirect relation. Okay, that's a separate topic from physics. So sorry, your mathematics. So hence, I cannot deal with it right now. So I told you in a shortcut way how to identify whether it's a direct relation or inverse relation. Correct? This is the one. Now, after identification, what you should know is what exactly happens when one particular quantity changes. One particular quantity changes. So let us see. Let us see. We will write down the formula, our previous formula, that x equal to y by z. Now, according to us, y is nothing but in direct relation with x. Y is in direct relation with x because y is in numerator position. Now, whenever there is direct relationship between two objects, whenever there is direct relationship between two variables you are talking about, that is y and x, that means that if one increases, second also will increase. What is the meaning of direct relationship? एक बढ़ा तो दूसरा भी बढ़ता है. If one increase, second will also increase. ठीक है? And what if another one decreases, another will also decrease. Understood? They have the same effect. They have the same effect. So in direct relationship, there is always a same effect. There is always a same effect. Understood this point? That whenever one quantity increases, other also increases. And if one decreases, another will also decrease. They are together. Yes, they are together. Now, what about inverse? What about inverse? So if z is in this particular equation, z is an inverse relation with x. Whenever z will increase, x will decrease. Understood? That there is inverse relation between z and x. So that means if z increases, x will decrease actually. X will decrease. There is opposite, what I can say, relation. There is opposite relation. And if z decreases, what do you think will happen to x? Give me response. If z decreases, what will happen to x? Give me response in chat box. What do you think will happen to x? If z decreases, what will happen to x? X will increase. X will increase. Correct. Opposite effect. There is always opposite effect. Lakhamwad correct. Rohila correct. Gayatri yes. Bhumi yes. Aditi correct. So hence, in short, what we can say is that whenever there is direct relationship, it is in numerator. And moreover, they have same effect. That means if one increases, other will increase. If one decreases, other also decreases. What about inverse? It is for denominator. And they have opposite effect. What kind of effect they have? Opposite effect. That means if one increases, other will decrease. If one increases, other will decrease. That is the opposite effect. Now, according to your logic, according to all this logic, what do you think if I write down the formula as pressure is equal to force by area? If F increases, what do you think will happen to pressure? Now tell me. You have understood the complete logic, right? You tell me, if force increases, what will happen to pressure? Correct. Vasudha is giving right. Suhani correct. Okay, Rohila, you are giving wrong answer. Sid, you are also giving wrong answer. Bhumi correct. Aditi right. Gaurav correct. Kaushal correct. Vaibhav Kadam, you are also right. So the answer for this is quite simple. As force is in numerator, it is in numerator, right? It means it is direct relationship. If F increases, P will also increase. Pressure will also increase. What about area? What about area? If area increases, what do you think will happen to pressure? Pressure के साथ क्या होगा? What do you think? What will happen to pressure if area increases? हाँ, लक्कमवाड़ correct, Gaurav correct, Bunty yes, Gaurav, Vaibhav, Aditi right. हाँ, Gayatri correct. So everybody is giving proper answers. So that means if area increases, pressure will decrease because area is having inverse relation. There is inverse relation with area and pressure, and with F there is direct relation. There is direct relation. Obviously, there will be same effect. Same effect. There will be same effect. And there will be opposite effect here, opposite, as it is inverse relation. So give me response till this time. Have you understood what exactly we are trying to say? That whenever the relation between inverse and direct relationship, are you understanding this? If one increases, other decreases, and all everything, how to identify and how to judge whether if one increases, what will happen to the other? Can you suppose, let's say, give proper answers for this? Okay, okay, Aditi, okay, Kaushal, Bhumi, okay, fine. So many students have understood it properly. Okay, so in your textbook, they whatever I explained it right now, they have given it in 2 points. They have given it in 2 points. You can refer those for your understanding. See, pressure is directly proportional to force. That is true. That is exactly what we learned right now. That force is exactly proportional to whom? Pressure. Also, second point, hence greater the force, larger will be the pressure exerted. That means they are saying if force increases, pressure will increase. That is what they are saying. That is what we learned exactly. And what about the second one, area? For area, there is inverse relation. There is inverse relation between pressure and area. So that means if area increases, if area, suppose let's say they have given it smaller, if area decreases, then for what will happen to pressure? Give me response. If area decreases, there is inverse relation, right? Give me response. What will happen? What will happen? What will happen if area decreases? हाँ, Gayatri correct. Kaushal, हाँ, correct. Shlok, yes. Vasudha, your answer is wrong. Bunty, your answer is wrong. Gaurav, wrong answer. Kaushal, the numericals are at the end. After the examples, the numericals are there on this formula. Not right now. Prathamesh, okay. Fine. Try to understand about this logic that whenever area decreases, pressure will increase. Pressure will increase. Okay. Give me answers for this properly. The answer should be increase. Are you understanding this? When area decreases, pressure should increase. Haan, correct. Haan, Shlok is giving correct. Haan. Okay. 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 Gayatri, what you are asking? If both increases, then it depends on what your applied force is. Suppose let's say both are changing. Suppose force is also increasing and area is also increasing. It depends on your actual value of your force and actual value of area. Then you need to know both the values. Just by looking at them, that force also is increasing and area is also increasing, we cannot judge what will be the effect on the pressure. We cannot, because we need the values of force and area to judge about this. Understood? Gayatri, give me response. Understood about this, that we cannot know unless and until we are supplied with the values of pressure, force and area. Okay, fine. So we have understood everything till now. What we are going to do now is we'll be talking about applications and numericals in the next session. Okay? In the next session, we'll be talking about numericals and application part of it. Fine. Okay, so that's it for the day, guys. We'll be meeting in the next period, in the next session.